What's up? My name is Rick. I'm making my first YouTube video to upload for the world to see, and doing this because I like talking about football. I like to hear what people say about football, and I make my picks. I meant to do this in week one, but had some problems at home. So, um, great week one, awesome quarterback week. Uh, I don't want to dwell on it, too long, but it was quarterback week. Cam Newton looked phenomenal. Tom Brady looked phenomenal. Drew Brees, even though he lost, looked phenomenal. Look at the first drive for Dallas Cowboys with Tony Romo with Des Bryant. Unbelievable. And the list goes on and on. I mean, there was only one running back in all the teams that showed, like he was a running back last year, and that, it was Rice for Baltimore. So can't wait for week two. With that said, I'm going to go on with my picks. The first game I'm going to go with is KC and Detroit. Detroit, Stanford. Uh, Good to see him healthy. I think that KC still being. I think if I'm not mistaken, right, they lost another player. So Detroit's got a little too many weapons to handle it at home. They win. Seattle versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh took a loss against Baltimore. That was they got taken to school. It was shocking because I sat there with my wife watching the game and could not believe just how well prepared Baltimore was versus Pittsburgh. Couldn't get anything right going their way. But with that said, Pittsburgh is going to make a bounce back. It's not going to be an aerial assault. I don't think they got their aerial, the air attack is not set up correctly like it was last year, but they have a running game. Mendenhall is good. I think Heath Miller is going to be a big part of this game. So with that said, Pittsburgh wins. Next one would be Chicago, New Orleans. Sorry, Bears fans. New Orleans is winning this game. The New Orleans Saints. It's amazing when they get losses. How minus that playoff loss from last year, they only lose from having a shootout, and it's always their losses are that way. Um, with that said, you're taking out Chicago, who took a good team to school. The defense was good, but the one thing was is their secondary wasn't really seriously tested. With that said, Drew Brees is going to have a field day on him. New Orleans wins easily. Next pick is Jacksonville and the Jets. Jets played my team, the Cowboys. Um, shouldn't have won. They got taken to school. But because they're playing a team in Jacksonville, it's going to be an easy game for them. I have nothing but utter respect for Ryan. You see, and I got his brother for defensive coordinator. Um, Easily, Jets win. Uh, Next pick would be Cleveland and Indianapolis. Sorry, Indy fans, but your Colts are done for the season, and it's not even week two. Your whole season, you're not going to get Peyton back, even if you got to look at how past teams have, be the Patriots, the Cowboys, whoever, when they lost their marquee player, and they would come back say halfway through the season, and they already got a losing record, and there's nothing to hope for. They're not gonna, especially in Indianapolis, they're not gonna put their franchise player back in to get a chance to get him hurt again. So with that said, your season's done. Should have gotten Brett Favre. Um, Cleveland with Colt McCoy, they're gonna win the game. All right. Arizona and Washington. You got Washington who beat the Giants, and I watched that game and I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is Washington? They don't even know who their quarterback is. Rex Grossman looked good and everything. Eli looked like he was a little ticked off his offensive line. Um, but Washington, I'm sorry, but they're going to lose this week. You're going to go against an Arizona team that's got Fitzgerald and Beanie Wells and Cobb. They're not going to stand a chance against that. I think that Washington's going to get the loss. I'm sorry, Skin fans, but that's how it's going to go. My long shot pick of the week would be the Green Bay Carolina game. The reason I call this a long shot is just because, yes, I know it's Green Bay. I know it's Aaron Rodgers. He was phenomenal against the Saints. But if you looked at the Saints game and you saw how Green Bay played, that was an offensive game. Both defenses weren't that great. Um, and you're going to go against a quarterback who proved himself in 1 week being a rookie, and the yardage that he get, Carolina is going to work on the high on that. I think that they're going to get the momentum. I think the defense is going to wake up a little bit, and if the defense can get to Aaron Rodgers, their game is done. So I say Carolina wins. It's going to be a squeaker, but Carolina wins. Tampa Bay and Minnesota. Donovan McNabb, 39 yards passing. I'm going to say that again, 39 yards passing. Unbelievable. Uh, you look at any other football league, professionally wise, CFL, UFL, and NFL, and tell me the last time you saw a quarterback that throws 39 yards. That he was out of his element. I think they're going to work on that. They probably already did. He's not washed up, folks. I think he's still got a couple more. He's down McNabb. I mean, you can't look at what happened in Washington because they didn't handle him right. They're going to bounce back. They're going to be at home. They got AP and everything. Minnesota wins the game. Baltimore and Tennessee. There's a game for you. And everybody's going to say, well, Tennessee, Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson, I'm sorry. The holdout hurt him. You saw that in the first week. Yes, they said that he's going to touch the ball more, but he's still not going to be the premier running back that he was last year, and that's not going to happen until the third or fourth week. With that said, Baltimore showing what they had against Pittsburgh, they're going to win this game. I mean, they're going to win it just like they did at Pittsburgh. I think it's going to be a blowout against Tennessee. Chris Johnson is not going to be effective in this game, and Baltimore wins unbelievably. Oakland, Buffalo. Oakland looked very good last night. I was impressed. It really was. It was good to see the silver and black being the old silver and black team that they used to be. I think Buffalo with Fitzpatrick in the game that he had and the way Buffalo played, that was a fluke. I'm sorry, Bills fans, but that was a fluke. Oakland wins this game easily. I think McFadden's going to be a factor in this game. He's going to get a lot of yardage. He's going to get a couple TDs. Oakland wins the game. My team versus San Francisco 49ers. That's my Dallas Cowboys. All you naysayers, Tony Romo, bring it. Don't care. He's still our quarterback. He still makes things happen. You can't blame him for that play against the Jets. It was a well-placed arm that knocked the ball out, and what happened was that was a momentum swing that brought the Jets right back into the game. If he had scored or if they didn't fumble the ball, Dallas would have scored either way, and it still would have been a nail in the coffin. That's football. It's not. They pick on Tony Romo because it's Tony Romo, and it seems like every time this happens, he's not the leader, but trust me, Dallas is going to have a good year with Brian running the defense. Tony Romo's healthy. You know, he took blame like he should take blame because he's the quarterback and he's the leader of the team. So Dallas wins this game easily. I'm sorry, San Francisco fans, but it's just the way it goes. I'm not doing that just because Dallas is my team. I'm just telling you they're going to win. Upset of the week, San Diego versus the Pats. Look at the New England game with Miami. Yes, they won. Tom Brady had a lot of yards, but Miami was in that game. Okay, they're not even a premier team yet. You're going to go against a premier team against the San Diego, and you're going to Philip Rivers is going to have an awesome game. You got a New England that has their linebacking core is not that great, and you got a running back in San Diego that's going to exploit that. So San Diego is going to beat the Pats. Sorry, Pat fans, but that's my pick. And if you want to say something about it, go ahead. Cincinnati and Denver. I'm not going to dwell on this game. Denver wins. Everybody knows what's going on in Cincinnati. Cincinnati only has Benson, and that's it. So easy win for Denver. Houston, Miami. Because of what Miami did against New England and the poise that they showed, and they seem to have everything clicking right. Reggie Bush seems to be what they were missing down there. So with that said, I think Miami's going to beat Houston because I only say this because Foster is not going to be a factor in this game. So without their running game being there, they're only going to be one-sided. Houston will be. So Miami, I said, is going to win the game. Philadelphia versus Atlanta. I'm sorry, Philly fans, but I don't buy into the dream team thing. You went after this so-called best defensive back in the league thing, and he's the highest paid defense. Listen to me. He's not even in the top 5. All right, he might be in the top 10, but he's not in the top 5. He's not one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Sorry. Philadelphia's got some weaknesses. They did not address some of the things that they had problems with, and that's going to be shown in this game against Atlanta. If any team knows Michael Vick, it's Atlanta. Atlanta's got all their weapons. They got Tony Gonzalez, everything. So Philly fans, are you listening? Atlanta wins. Monday Night Football, St. Louis versus Giants. Giants are going to bounce back. They're going to show that they got. Listen, people, Giants got too much weapons on offense. All right, they were missing both key points to their defense in that game against Washington. They're going to at least get one back. Okay, I don't think OC is going to be ready, but they're going to get Tuck back, and Tuck is going to be a factor in the game. And Giants gonna bounce back. Eli's gonna move. It's gonna move that ball down. He's got. I know Nick's is a little banged up and everything. He still has Manningham and stuff, and they got the two-headed monster in the backfield. So Giants win the game. But that's my picks this week, people. I welcome if you come in and leave your comments. Call me stupid. Call me an idiot. Don't know what I'm talking about. But at least we're gonna be talking about football. All right. Peace out. I will see you guys week 3 with my picks. And again, welcome anything you say. Have a good one, people.